Hello and welcome to a new lecture on communication research. In the previous lecture, we discussed Aristotle's deductive logic and Francis Bacon's inductive logic. Today, we are going to discuss a most modern method of doing research. When I say modern, don't think that we are going to discuss something which has happened yesterday or which is developing today. We are trying to look at the very beginning of modern method of doing research. And this was given by John Dewey around 1932. And he called his method of doing research as method of science. What is this method of science? What does it contain? If you look at the method of science given by John Dewey, it's a very simple combination of both deductive logic and inductive logic. So John Dewey has made use of the concepts given by Aristotle in his deductive logic, that is the major premise. And he has also made use of the minor premise. But while drawing conclusions based on the minor premise and the major premise, he has used the inductive logic given by Francis Bacon. So what is this? He says deductive logic, major premise is good enough. Deductive logic, minor premise is also good enough. But when drawing conclusions, it should be based on individual observations. So this is where the concept of individual observations, looking into individual observations and drawing conclusions are used. So a combination of deductive logic and inductive logic gave rise to the method of science. So as early as 1932, John Dewey establishes 5 major steps in the conduct of research. And probably when you look into the textual material of modern method of doing research, we have almost all the same steps given by John Dewey. So what are the steps? Let us look into these steps. First one is identification and statement of the problem. So step 1, as a researcher, you have to identify the field of research you are interested in and identify a very specific problem you are trying to solve or resolve. For example, you want to study media habits of people. Yes, media habits is a very major area. But specifically, what are you going to look at? Are you going to look at newspaper reading habit? Are you going to look at television viewing? Are you going to look at listening to radio? So this is what is called as, we are looking at a major area of research called media habits. And specifically, we are defining that we are going to look at the media habit relation to newspaper reading. So this is the first step in the conduct of research. The next step is formulation of hypothesis. We are wondering, as soon as I make my research problem, how do I follow a hypothesis or state a hypothesis? Remember, every good research is based on a hunch. Unless and until you have a hunch, you cannot be a good receiver. For example, you want to travel somewhere. You start with a hunch. Probably this is the area or this is the route I am supposed to take. Unless and until you have this thing in your mind, you cannot be a successful traveler. Similarly, a good researcher always has a hunch and what is called as a hypothetical proposition of what he is going to look for. Then The third is based on the hunch, based on the major area stated, we are expected to collect data. So stage 3, according to the method of science, is data collection. Once we collect the data, we have to organize the data according to our requirement. That means organization of data. Then we have to analyze the data so that we see the results. So step 3 consists of data collection, organization of data, and analysis of data. Step 4, writing of the report or trying to state your research findings. So based on the analysis, we will write the report and also look at, are we anywhere closer to our hunch or hypothesis, or we are far away from our hunch or research hypothesis. So this helps us in drawing inferences based on our findings. So stage 4, report writing, trying to find out and try to prove or disprove the hypothesis. And the last stage is verification. So a researcher, a good researcher, never says, I have done my work, my report is ready, I have submitted. He goes one step beyond and tries to verify whether the work done by him is in accordance of the work done earlier. Is the hypothesis tested properly? If the hypothesis is rejected, what are the bases on which the rejection has taken place? Or if an alternative hypothesis is accepted, what is the basis of accepting the alternate hypothesis? So the last stage is the verification, where the researcher carefully verifies his hypothetical statements, the results, and the final report. After this, he writes an executive summary which helps us, we the readers or the person who is using that research as a reference material, to know what were the objectives of the research, what were the major field of research, what were the hypotheses stated, and what were the major findings in that particular research. So this is what is called as the method of science. And of course, let me tell you honestly, this is not as simple as we have discussed just now. Maybe in another lecture, we will expand all these steps and try to look at a little closer to each of these steps, and maybe at the end we will add a few more steps so that we can come out with the most modern method of doing research, and we will try to understand what is an hypothesis, why is an hypothesis, what are the variables, why a variable, etc., etc. Thank you for now.